thank you so much for saying this because, I mean, you know the work I do. I'm a divorce coach. I'm a domestic abuse survivor myself and a journalist. And you humanized Jennifer Farber Dulos. And I think that we see so often that people, even family court professionals, even judges, have an attitude of, hey, you married him or her, your problem, you should have seen this. But I thought you did a brilliant job of depicting Fotis Dulos and, you know, weaving this narrative that showed, you know, look, even therapists called him a psychopath,
Right.
right?
Well, he had this ability, this sort of brilliant ability to read a person, figure out what they needed, and become that thing. And he obviously was really great at reading people, and he figured out where Jennifer was in her life, and she was at a crossroads. She was sort of done with her playwriting career. She wanted to have a big family, but she was getting older, and he recognized all these things she needed, and she became, in potential, the perfect person. What's more, they'd gone to Brown together, and they kind of knew each other, so there was an affinity error. You know what I mean? Like, this person is
Absolutely.
safe because they're from my hometown. That's how I feel too. So, and then, you know, that's whatever she's projecting her best. She's hoping for the best with this person, and she struggled, but he wasn't. And once he got from her what he wanted, he changed,
Right.
or he
And you're
became what he
trapped.
really was.
I mean, I thought of it like she was trapped in the dollhouse, right? I mean, a lot of my coaching clients, some I should say, are high net worth, like Jennifer, you know, living these lives from the outside that look so picture perfect, right? But they're not always that way. And I think many times women feel that biological clock ticking, right? They make a decision, or I often say to clients, you saw the good in the other person. You thought they were a good person like you. Not that all of my clients are perfect. I'm not saying Jennifer was absolutely perfect, right? But they're not really manipulative and deceptive. They're just taking that person at face
Right.
value, right?
And my father always had this thing that I always thought about, which is, he said, you see things not as they are, but as we are. You
Mm-hmm.
see them like you want to see them. And if you're an optimistic person, you'll see the good, or what you take to be the good. And, you know, she was a target for somebody who could manipulate her. And she was, to me, like a definition of somebody who is evil, which overlaps with a definition of psychopath, is somebody who doesn't see other people as real. He
Mm-hmm.
sees them as objects to either get what they want. Jennifer was at the beginning of the relationship. He saw access to a certain lifestyle, a certain status, money through her father to start his business. And then at the end, he still saw her as an object, but now she was an object preventing him from getting what he wanted in her way.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Exactly, right.
yeah.
The narcissism. I just want to read one little section. I mean, there's so many great sections. I hope everybody gets this book. But he had scared her by letting the kids drive in the car. And you wrote, Jennifer believed Fotis did it to scare her, to ratchet up the pressure. If the situation became intolerable, maybe she'd give in to his demands. It was not divorce he wanted, which might diminish his status and income, but a separation in which Michelle, his girlfriend, replaced Jennifer, but everything else stayed the same. So it's almost like little chess pieces, right? Like he just wanted what he wanted with no regard for how it affected Jennifer or even their 5 children.
Right. And what he wanted wasn't reasonable to any normal person. He wanted his mistress, and he wanted his wife for her money and everything else. So he wanted to, for a time, he wanted them all to live in the same house. And he said to her, well, don't worry, you can have your own room. Her family's
Right,
bankrolling the whole
right,
thing. And he said he wanted a blended family. The way she saw it was he wanted a blended family with somebody taking her place, her gone, and her
mm-hmm.
replaced by this other person.